Hey, I'm Roland, and I bought the Galaxy Buds Plus ahead of launch. So we are 4 days ahead of the launch event on February 11th, which is next week. And some European retailer just sold these to me a bit early. DHL hurried up and they got them to me within like 2 or 3 days. And here we have them. Says right there, blue model SMR 172, 175 are the Buds Plus. And yeah, there's not much to see on the box. Yes, these are the blue ones. And let's just move over quickly to the back right here. We have 11 hours of playtime now, which is likely the higher number that Samsung is posting right here because the buds themselves are set to be able to run for 7.5 hours, and case and the buds plus together are now rated at 15 hours. At least that was what Evan Blass was posting a little while ago. This box also confirms there are two-way speakers in here, so there's a tweeter and a subwoofer, or basically a woofer. And there are now three mics in here for better noise canceling or for your voice calls. As usual, those are charged through wireless charging via Qi, which is what Samsung has been using for a while on the Galaxy Buds of the first generation 2. Down here, connecting through Bluetooth 5.0, and the sound is optimized by AKG. The packaging or content is left and right earbuds, the charging case, wingtips. So there's three sets, a bunch of earbuds, the USB-C cable, and the quick start guide. That's what it says on the box. Let's try and get them out of here. Up here we have the quick start guide. I'm just not going to bother you with those. There's also the warranty cards stuff in there, and here we have the Galaxy Buds Plus in their blue or cloud blue, sky blue, or whatever it's called colorway. Let's just try and get these out of the box right here. Standard charging box that Samsung has been using for a little while. This now contains a bigger battery, so it has 270 milliamp hours in the case, up from 252. That's not that much of a plus for those, but the buds themselves are now carrying a larger battery, which now has 85 instead of 58 milliamp hours. So that's definitely a huge plus for those. Here you can see the buds. I'll go get back to those in a second. Let me try and put them on the side for a minute. And let's have a look in the accessory box. We have the USB Type-C cable up here, USB-A on one end, USB-C on the other end, and we have another two pairs of rings or holders for your ears. Those are just flat, no wings on those. There's wings on the other pair, and down here you can see you also have the ear tips in S, M, and L. And yeah, all of this is made in Vietnam as usual, because Samsung is doing less and less in China as they're moving out of there. Here we have the charging case itself. Pretty much looks like what you had on the one from the last year. You have the LED charging indicator down here. There's an LED indicator in here. This just tells you which is which on the buds, and the buds themselves are charged through these charging contacts down here, charging contacts on the devices themselves, and they're pretty much identical. They're just mirror-like. You can just pull this off and exchange the wings with the other pairs that are in the box. Up here are your rubber tips that you stick into your ear, and if you have ears that are like have a narrow opening, you can just use the one without the ring, without the wings on them, because it's just going to hold by itself. This is an optical sensor, I believe, which detects if you have them in your ear or not. There's your third mic, I believe, because it doesn't say if that's actually a mic, but there's a secondary mic, and up here is the third mic. This is a touch sensitive surface, so you tap for the next song, you double tap for the song after that, and I think it's 3 taps for going backwards. This down here is pretty much nothing. It just holds on this rubber rim around the device, and that should be pretty much it. They are still kind of big, so they're going to poke out of your ear a bit, and you have to choose a color that you like. There's also going to be a black one, a white one, and a red/pink one. In Europe, you'll only get this blue one, the black one, and the white ones, and that's pretty much it. I'm going to connect these to my phone now, and then we'll check out how well they work and if that audio cancellation stuff actually works well. I'll show you around the app. Let's see what's new in there, and I'll see you in a second. I have now connected the Galaxy Buds Plus to my smartphone, which is a Zenfone 6, so it's not a Samsung device. It asks me to allow all kinds of things. And there we have it. The Galaxy Buds are connected, not reporting anything to Samsung because I don't like doing that. And we are all set and ready to go. Let's just take a quick look around the app. You can actually turn on and off ambient sound. At the top, it tells you how much battery you have left, and I can already install an update, and we'll see about that in a second. I believe we can now turn on the ambient sound, and you'll be able to have the external mics route the sound from the outside through to the inside, and you can choose 2 different levels. There's an equalizer down at the bottom there, in which you can choose between treble boost, clear, dynamic, soft bass boost, and normal. I'm not going to change any of that right now. We have a bunch of different settings. There should be a new Spotify gesture integrated. I do not use Spotify on my phone, so I'm not going to show you that. I'm sorry about that. We'll leave that to other people, and I can allow them to read my notifications, which will probably tell them to me or play a sound. There is the touchpad setup to play, pause, and whatever control the devices, and I will have voice commands also integrated. There is a feature to find your earbuds, and you can also change the ambient sound during calls, turn that on or off. There are a bunch of general settings, which basically just contains pretty much nothing except the option to reset the earbuds. And at the bottoms, you can also check out what is in this user manual, and it will tell you about the earbuds. Let's see, we have the serial number right there. There's battery information right here. It says up here, battery capacity is at 85 milliamp hours. There is the capacity for the charging case, which is 270 milliamp hours, but I already told you that earlier, and that is pretty much it. That's in the software. Let's see what the update contains. My last update is, it's right there, checking for updates. Let's see what it does. And it has improved the system stability and reliability. So that is pretty much whatever everybody else is always telling you when they're pushing out updates. It's only 1.2 megabytes, so that shouldn't be that much. Yeah, and I'll check these out now and listen to them and see how good or bad they usually do. Yeah, and I'll let you know that in a second. So yeah, I've been using the Galaxy Buds Plus for a bunch of minutes now, and I've checked them out. So the pass-through of the ambient noise really works pretty well, so I can pretty clearly hear what's going on around me. Just in quiet areas, you'll hear this static that is kind of crackling in the background there. Using the tips or the touchpad on the outside works really well. So you basically just tap it, and you can skip or just play or pause or whatever, and that works pretty well. Skipping buttons or skipping back to the music that you had before also works. This is just a regular YouTube app right here, and yeah, seems to work pretty much nicely. I do not know what it's like to use the Spotify. As I said, it doesn't really work. The settings bit down here in the app, which is basically switching between the different equalizer levels, also works with the ambient sound, even if you're playing no music at all. They cover the ear pretty well, the different ear tips. Actually, my left ear has a bit of a wider opening than the right one, so on the right one it's really tight, and I can't really hear much around me. There's no actual or active noise cancellation on these, so you're definitely going to hear your surroundings, but they're really well fitted, and it doesn't wobble or anything, and the rubber is soft enough to actually cover your ear really well, even if you have a bit of an uneven surface around the openings of your ears. Again, as I said, the ambient sound stuff really works pretty nicely. You can just turn it off, and then it's going to be pretty quiet. You're only going to hear, well, yourself talking, and everybody around you will probably kind of be unhearable, except there's no actual active noise cancellation. Yeah. So far, it seems pretty nice. Seems to be a pretty nice upgrade. I'll have to see about what the battery life is like. I'll let you know on Twitter. Maybe not. Depends on if I'm actually going to be using those. And yeah, so far it seems like a nice upgrade for $20 compared to the last model that Samsung put out last year. So the last ones were $149 and $169 is what the new ones are. Or that's actually euros. For the US, it's only 20 bucks more. In Europe, it's going to be 20 euros more. As usual, we have to pay taxes, and that's why it's going to be more expensive. So if you get the Galaxy S20 or Ultra, you'll get these in the box if you are one of the pre-order customers in most countries in Europe. So you're going to save 169 euros, and you're going to get a decent pair of true wireless earbuds with now pretty decent battery life, according to the spec sheet, because Samsung is saying that the actual talk time will be 22 hours, and or the play time, if you're just using the music features, it's going to be 15 hours of talk time, 7.5 hours just the earbuds, 15 hours with the case and the earbuds, and it's going to be a talk time of 11 hours with just the earbuds. And if you're charging them again, it's going to be 22 hours using those bigger batteries. So yeah, that's what's just a really quick look at the Samsung Galaxy Buds Plus. And if you like what I do on my channel, follow me on Twitter, so I'll keep you updated with whatever I post, if it's leaks or just videos. And I'll see you soon.